You've felt it before. That surge of energy at 2 a.m., the sudden promise that this time will be different. You plan the routine, you imagine the future, and then, a few days later, it's gone. This isn't laziness, it's not lack of discipline, it's your brain doing exactly what it was designed to do. Motivation doesn't disappear because you're weak, it disappears because motivation was never meant to last. Today, I'm going to show you why motivation always fades, the lie we were taught about willpower, and the one mental shift that makes progress automatic. If you've ever started strong and faded quietly, this video will explain everything. We treat motivation like fuel, something you either have or don't. But psychologically, motivation is not fuel, it's a chemical event. Motivation is driven by dopamine, the brain's anticipation chemical. Dopamine doesn't reward progress, it rewards expectation. That's why planning feels better than doing, starting feels better than finishing, imagining success feels better than working for it. Your brain gives you dopamine at the idea of change, not the execution of it. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Your brain is not designed for long-term goals. Your nervous system evolved to conserve energy, avoid pain, and repeat what's familiar. So when you start something new, a workout, a business, a new habit, your brain reads it as a threat. At first, dopamine spikes, but once the activity becomes familiar, dopamine drops. Not because it's bad, but because your brain says, okay, this is real now, where's the reward? This is why. Day 1 feels powerful, day 3 feels annoying, day 7 feels pointless. You didn't lose motivation, your brain simply stopped lying to you. Most people quit here, not because the goal was wrong, but because the chemical high ended. We're taught that the answer is willpower, just push harder, stay motivated, want it more. But willpower is not a personality trait, it's a limited cognitive resource. Every decision drains it. What to eat, what to wear, what to avoid, what to force. That's why the most disciplined people don't rely on motivation. They design their environment. Here's the shift that changes behavior permanently. Stop asking, how do I stay motivated? Start asking, how do I make this unavoidable? Examples: gym clothes laid out the night before, phone apps blocked during focus hours, habits attached to existing routines. Motivation is unreliable. Friction is reliable. Reduce friction for good habits, increase friction for bad ones. Your brain doesn't resist effort, it resists uncertainty and discomfort. The most powerful motivator isn't dopamine, it's identity. When behavior becomes who you are, motivation becomes irrelevant. You don't motivate yourself to brush your teeth, you just do it, because it's part of you. The goal isn't to feel motivated, the goal is to feel out of alignment when you don't act. Motivation didn't fail you, you were just asking it to do a job it was never meant to do. Build systems, shape identity, remove choices, and one day, you'll look back and realize the work got done even on days you didn't feel like it. That's not discipline, that's understanding your brain. At some point, you realize something uncomfortable. The people who are consistent don't feel better than you. They don't wake up more motivated, they just stop negotiating with themselves. This video isn't about pushing harder, it's about removing the need to push at all. In part 1, we talked about why motivation never lasts. Today we're going deeper, because discipline isn't something you summon, it's something you construct. By the end of this video, you'll understand why discipline feels rare, why forcing consistency always fails, and how to build habits that run even when you're tired, bored, or uninspired. Discipline feels hard because your brain hates one thing above all else: internal conflict. Every time you say, should I work or rest? Should I start or scroll? Should I eat clean or not? You're draining mental energy before you even act. Most people think discipline means fighting urges, but psychologically, discipline is the absence of debate. The strongest people don't argue with themselves, they've already decided. Forcing discipline works. Briefly, you can bully yourself for a week, maybe 2. But the brain always collects its debt. When discipline is built on self-criticism, burnout is inevitable. That's why people binge after restriction, quit after streaks, collapse after consistency. Force creates rebellion, structure creates peace. Real discipline starts with something simple, but most people skip it. Clarity, not goals, not dreams, standards. Goals are things you hope to do. Standards are things you do no matter what. Examples, I train at least 10 minutes. Even on bad days I write 1 paragraph. Even if it's bad I show up. Even if I leave early. Standards remove emotion from action. Here's where discipline becomes mechanical. You don't rely on strength, you rely on design. 3 rules of discipline. Design. 1. Make it smaller than your ego wants. Consistency beats intensity every time. 2. Attach it to something automatic. After I brush my teeth, I stretch. After coffee, I write. 3. Remove exit ramps. If quitting is easy, quitting will happen. Discipline grows when quitting feels awkward. Here's the final layer. You don't rise to the level of your discipline, you fall to the level of your identity. The moment you say, I'm the kind of person who shows up, behavior starts to follow. Not because you're inspired, but because inconsistency now feels off. Identity is discipline on autopilot. Discipline isn't loud, it doesn't hype you up, it doesn't feel heroic. It feels boring, repetitive, almost invisible, and that's why it works. You don't need more motivation, you need fewer decisions. Build the structure once, and let it carry you on the days you can't. Soft finish. That's not willpower, that's self-respect in action.
Why consistency feels boring, and why that's the point. Part 3 of the Motivation Discipline series. There's a moment that kills most progress. Not failure, not exhaustion, boredom. The excitement fades, the results slow down, and suddenly, consistency feels pointless. This is where most people stop. Not because it's hard, but because it's quiet. In Part 1, we talked about why motivation never lasts. In Part 2, we talked about building discipline without motivation. Now comes the part no one warns you about. Why doing the right thing consistently feels dull, unsatisfying, almost meaningless. By the end of this video, you'll understand why boredom is a sign of progress, why your brain resists consistency, and how to stay steady when nothing feels rewarding. Your brain is not wired for consistency, it's wired for novelty. Novelty releases dopamine, repetition releases nothing. That doesn't mean repetition isn't working. It means it's no longer stimulating. The brain confuses boring with useless. But psychologically, boring is often a sign that a behavior is becoming automatic. Every meaningful habit has a phase I call the dead zone. No excitement, no visible progress, no emotional payoff. You're no longer bad at it, but not good enough to feel proud. Most people quit here, not because nothing is happening, but because nothing is felt. Progress continues long after excitement leaves. Consistency strips away fantasy. There's no transformation montage, no dramatic shift, just repetition. And that's uncomfortable, because repetition forces you to confront reality. Who you are, without hype, without adrenaline, without motivation. Consistency is where ego goes to die. The mistake people make is trying to make consistency exciting. That's backwards. The shift. Stop chasing stimulation. Start tracking presence. Did I show up? Did I complete the minimum? Did I leave without quitting? When consistency is measured by attendance, boredom loses its power. Boring habits compound quietly. Look closely at anyone who's truly consistent. Their lives don't look intense. They look stable. The real flex isn't doing something once. It's doing it when no one is watching, and nothing is happening. Boredom is the cost of reliability. Consistency doesn't feel good. It feels neutral. And neutrality is powerful. Because when emotion leaves, behavior remains. If your routine feels boring right now, don't escape it. You're not stuck. You're stabilized. And that's where real progress lives.